The globe versus the flat plane, or curve and no curve. So I wanted to give a brief introduction to the globe. The idea of the spherical earth appeared back in Greek philosophy with Pythagoras back in the 6th century BC. But the circle and the disc are not globes, are they? A globe is not a circle. A circle is not a globe. Well then, Mesopotamian thought the world was portrayed as a flat floating disc in the ocean. So then the earth was flat for like 2,000 years, and then came the first Freemason, Copernicus. Now he developed his own celestial model of the heliocentric planetary system. Copernicus is said to have been clutching the book when he died, and only then was the book published on the heliocentric globe model on his deathbed. Copernicus's deathbed back in 1543, you've got to remember, where did he get that model from? Because the first balloon flight was the Montgolfier brothers, and that wasn't until 1783. That's like 200 years later. Then the first flight that was the Wright brothers, as we know, back in 1903, some 400 years later, to the time of now, and NASA. NASA. NASA, never a straight answer. The famous Apollo picture photograph that we all know, man on the moon, and all the pictures that they show us, which I love so much, they admit themselves are computer generated images. If you go on the website, the narrator says they are photoshopped. They have to be. Of course they do. Well, they're fake, aren't they? I don't understand why we would fake a real picture of a globe. We don't actually need to fake a real picture of a globe if it was real. So that picture is actually proven, and the pictures are proven to be frauds, when you look at a very interesting, a very good documentary called A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Moon by Mr. Ciparel. You will see that they are in low Earth orbit, if you want to call that, and they are literally faking a picture of the globe. It took a while to understand the reason why they were faking it, because I could never understand the reason until you put the flat earth into the perspective, and then all the little pieces start to fit together like a perfect glove. So NASA and all the other modern astronomers claim that we're living on this oblate, spheroid, pear-shaped globe CGI thing that's 25,000 miles in circumference with a 7,935 inches to the mile curve, varying inversely at the square of the distance, basically meaning that in 3 miles there's a declination of nearly 6 feet. So in 30 miles, 600 feet, 300 miles, 60,000 feet, and so on. I also wanted to point out the depth as well of the plane, as it is a question that comes up a lot. If you look at research as well on the Marianas Trench, you will see that it actually goes the same distance down as what we've been able to drill as well, which is about 8 miles down. Plane flight level. Here's another thing that absolutely convinces me 100% it is a flat motionless plane. That at all times planes fly level. Once the pilot reaches cruising altitude, if the Earth was a globe, then the plane would have to constantly dip the nose of the plane to coincide with the curve of the Earth. So if the Earth was actually indeed 25,000 miles in circumference, the horizon would be noticeably curved, even at sea level. So do your own research, guys, look into it yourself, try to prove to yourself it's a globe, it's a curve. No curve, no globe. If there's no curve to see, then it's not a globe that you're on. No curve, no globe.
It ain't gonna hurt now if you open up your eyes. You're making it worse now every time you criticize. I'm under your curse now, but I call it compromise. I thought that you were wise, but you were otherwise.
This is my favourite one, this one, guys. Look at this. There's the boy bouncing away on the flat horizon line, and he zooms out. Zooming in and zoom out. Nice bird to see. Completely out of the horizon. Wow.